Hello, thank you so much for finding me on my channel. My name is Terry from Freetown Mindset, and today I'm going to talk to you about coffee. Not only am I going to talk to you about coffee, I'm going to talk to you about knowing your product and knowing your market. And in knowing your product and knowing your market, that brings me on to Starbucks, one of the biggest coffee, tea companies, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to take you on a little journey on how they became a company from not earning anything to now a giant outlet who have triumphed and now worth over $28 billion. Now, taking it back to most people watching this video, I'm sure you may be a coffee drinker or a tea drinker. Now, for myself, I didn't actually start drinking coffee to the age of the young age of 30. That's when I started, and the only reason why I started drinking coffee was we was on our second child, and I needed that caffeine hit. And at that time, I was working for a business, and I was working 10 to 12 hours per day, plus with a newborn as well. The combination didn't work, so I had to get something. So for me, I turned to coffee, and coffee helped to give me that instant energy boost, to give me that hit. It actually made me feel a lot better as well. So if you are someone who is marketing a product, maybe you're selling coffee, so you may be able to or may want to target your ads for parents with newborns, because obviously if you're a new parent with a newborn, the first thing that you're going to go to is wanting a bit more energy. The easiest way to get energy is to have a cup of coffee. So that could be a whole different video in itself, how to market to different people out there depending what certain situations are going through. Obviously if you're a parent or what kind of age you've got children, how you can market to them. But I'm not going to be talking about that today. What I am talking about today is I am talking about how Starbucks actually started, the city that it started in, and why they started in that city. So just doing it in the order which I believe it should be in, is some people may know, some people may not know that Starbucks actually founded or started in Seattle. Now, this is to do with the environment, and this is how Starbucks are a completely genius business, because in Seattle they have, when it's winter, the winters are very, very long and very, very dark. What that means is the people, the citizens of Seattle, don't get much sunlight. They may be moody, they may be miserable, they've got low energy. We know this. When you don't get enough sunshine, we aren't our typical normal selves. So people watching this and listening to this video now may be thinking, what the hell has that got to do with knowing your product, knowing your market, and what's it got to do with Starbucks? The reason is, to the uninitiated, and this is why Starbucks are a genius company, is to most of us, including myself, I wouldn't be looking, or at that time, I wouldn't have been looking into the weather or the environment on how it affects people and what they actually consume, and how you can provide a service or a solution to, obviously, for your business. So what Starbucks did is they were one of, obviously, other companies out there to start offering coffee to people in Seattle, and the rest is history. So what people were lacking was their morale was down, and they were tired. They needed a boost, to pick me up, just the same way I did when I was obviously looking after my newborn with my wife, and doing a 10-12 hour day job. So we was going for the caffeine hit and the caffeine boost. So Starbucks knew the market and knew the product so well, they actually launched their store in Seattle for that reason, which is a fantastic way to launch your business. So anyone that is going into business, know your environment. So it's actually, what I'm talking about here is literally, 5-dimensional here. It's not just the environment, the people around you, it's actually the weather as well. So in the Starbucks instance, they actually saw that the winters were longer, people were suffering from winter depression, whatever you want to call it, or sad. So they utilized that and they provided a service to people, and then that basically paid off for them on a very, very big way, and then they've extrapolated that right across the world. So This is more of a lessons learned, a coaching tip to people out there who are looking to provide a product or service. Don't just look or just say, I'm going to provide this service or this product. Actually look in the environment. If it is a physical product, or if you've got a bricks and mortar business, and then actually, or you want to start a bricks and mortar business, actually look in the surroundings around you. What are the people like? What's the environment like? What's the weather like? What impact would that have in your business? You know, you're not going to be selling umbrellas in a state or a country where there's little to no rainfall. What you could sell is a parasol instead for sun protection, if you're with me on that. So you've got to really understand the location, the market, the people, and the culture. If you don't understand that, then your business, unfortunately, may likely fail. So it's a bit of a coaching tip to anyone listening to this. What is wise to do is model the successful companies out there. So for the best example is, if you are starting a coffee business, and what do? You look at Starbucks, you look at other companies out there who have started a business. Don't look at where they are now, look at how they started and what was their strategy to get to where they are now. Yeah, you strive to be in their position. You may not even want to be in their position. You may just want to have a little business that turns over. But the best thing to do is go back and see where it all began. So what I would say to anyone that is going on their journey, you know, to the entrepreneurs, the solopreneurs, the business owners, the small business owners, if you are looking to get into a business similar to a large corporate outlet, go and look for their origin story. What I mean about their origin story is where it all began. The best thing to do is, and most of these, you know, business owners, have written a book, an autobiography. Go and buy that book, study that book, and that can be your playbook to success. So I'll say that again: buy that book, study that book, because that book could be your playbook for success. It's so important to see how the successful people have done it, rather than listening to your family member, your aunt, your uncle, your mum, your dad. Listen and get the information from the people who have really made a massive impact, and that can give you some great advice there. The best way by doing that is buying the book, the autobiography, etc., etc. So hopefully this video has been of interest to anyone listening out there. If it has, please feel free to give it a thumbs up, and please do put a comment on there as well, and please feel free to share it to anyone you may know. And the reason why I ask for these likes, shares and comments is it really does help on my YouTube channel, and it will push the content out to more people out there. Some people, for some reason, don't want to put a like or share on there. I've got people that will send me a direct message on Instagram and say that they like my video. And I was like, well, just put the like on there, please. So I'm asking you, please just put a like on there, put a comment on there. I'm not asking for a big war and peace comment, just something that will be constructive, something that you prefer to hear, you didn't like, or what you want to hear on the next video. Enough said, because I think I have said enough, which is know your market, know your product, model from the successful people, buy their books or autobiography, and use that as your playbook for success. This is Anne Terry from Freetown Mindset. Have a great day.